Viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I pray you're all well, enjoying your Ramadan, inshallah. Welcome back to another episode of Align with the Divine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فاستجاب لهم ربهم أني لا أضيع عمل عامل منكم من ذكر أو أنثى بعضكم من بعض فالذين هاجروا وأخرجوا من ديارهم وأوذوا في سبيلي وقاتلوا وقتلوا لأكفرن عنهم سيئاتهم ولأدخلنهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ثوابا من عند الله والله عنده حسن الثواب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in translation, and the Lord responded to them that I will not let the deeds of any of you, of any worker from amongst you, go to waste, whether you're male or female. You are all equal. And those who migrated and were driven out from their homes and were harmed in the path of Allah, and they fought and they were killed, I will expiate for them all their shortcomings, and I will admit them to gardens, Jannah, where rivers flow beneath them as a reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best reward. You know, dear viewers, I want to make a point about this verse, because prior to this verse you have 3-4 other ayahs where the believers are asking something from Allah, and the message I want to pass today is quite powerful. So before this ayah, the believers are calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the word Rabbana, our Lord. And the word Rabbana comes prior to this ayah about 5, 6, 7 times. ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا ربنا إنك من تدخل النار ربنا إننا سمعنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا. So you have here the word Rabbana has come 5 times. 5 times they're calling onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, forgive us and give us Jannah and look over our shortcomings, and Ya Allah, you haven't created any of this in vain. Ya Allah, allow us to appreciate you. All of these things. After 5 or 6 times of the usage of the word Rabbana, Allah Azza wa Jal says, فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ, and then the Lord responded to them. Dear viewers, what do I want to pass from this ayah? You know, it's hard to say, or it's hard to express what I want to say, because I get very emotional when I speak about these things. It's the believer should never give up. The believer should never cave in. The believer should never become despondent of Allah. But I want to package what I've just said in a specific line of messaging here. The reason why we should never ever give up in dunya is because, like I said in my previous video, our why has been figured out for us. There's a vision here. If you give up in life as a Muslim, not only it could possibly be that your family may suffer, but Islam actually could suffer. Why? Because when you say you're a Muslim, like we said in episode 1, that's your identity. A Muslim strives for mercy, a Muslim strives for justice, a Muslim strives for truth, a Muslim stands up for what's right, a Muslim sacrifices his health, money, energy for the sake of Allah. When a Muslim gives up, the world has lost out on someone so valuable. Because this entire vision, this comprehensive way of life, only resides in the heart of the believer. So when the world says to you, don't give up for your kids, yeah, it's a virtuous kind of message. But what about those who don't have kids? Or what about those whose kids turn on their backs and, betray their parents? Then what? It's just partial, like we said yesterday. Everything's partial. But when you are fully in line and aligned with the vision, you can never ever give up. Firstly, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond to you. He'll respond to you sooner or later. Number 2, if you do give up, then the entire vision of Islam, subhanallah, has just lost someone who could have aided towards that vision mountains worth of goodness. Just imagine for a moment, dear viewers, if Umar radiallahu anh gave up. Yeah, his family would have suffered, but imagine how many lands of Islam were not opened up to mercy and justice, and oppression was alleviated. Imagine Abu Bakr radiallahu anh gave up in the Meccan stage. Islam would have lost diamonds. The world would have lost diamonds, not just Islam. The world would have lost diamonds because why? Islam came for the world. The world and Islam are in complete synergy. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, "Ma tara fi khalqi ar-Rahmani min tafawut," and you do not see in the creation of the Most Merciful disparity. Everything is linked. Islam came for the world. The world comes to surrender to Islam. So if the Muslim gives up, it's not just him that suffered or his family or his mum. That's just like 4 or 5 people. The entire world, the entire future has just lost out on someone who could have given something so great to this world. That's the vision. That's the mission. That's the project. That's why no matter any hardship you go through, you need to realize that your hardships in life are they are for a bigger cause than you and your respite. They are so that you can elevate and alleviate this world from the abyss of darkness it's been living in for so many decades and perhaps centuries. So, dear viewers, I just wanted to pass a very kind of, short but kind of simple message today that if you feel like giving up, figure out your why. And when you figure out your why from yesterday's episode, like we said, you will never give up because there's too much at stake here. Way too much at stake here. You do not know that a phrase or a word or a statement that you will utter can change the course of mankind very quickly. La ilaha illallah was a statement, right? We believe that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger. That statement shook the pillars of the world so much that it brought forth the most amazing thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descending upon the dunya, Islam. You could possibly do that. So never give up on Allah, never give up on yourself. Why? Because if you give up on yourself, you're giving up on a vision. If you give up on a vision, the entire dunya suffers. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who are strong. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who are concrete in not giving up as to why we shouldn't give up. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who taste respite very soon, inshallah. If not in dunya, then in al-akhirah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.